Hi guys, my name is Dan and welcome to the channel. Today we continue with our Porsche Guy guide. It's a fourth part, third track, and today it will be Silverstone. After making the last video, I got really a lot of positive feedback from you, which means that it's actually helping somebody, and that's what made me continue with the series. So let's not waste any more time and let's begin with Silverstone. Okay, so I'm going to drive really slowly because there is a lot of information I need to tell you, and then afterwards we are going to drive a hot lap and then you can focus on everything else. Setup is really good for the car. You will get that in the third part of the video. And yeah, let's now focus. So, you're now in 5th gear, coming down the straight. Before 50 mark, you downshift to 4th gear, tap the brakes and try to be here on the apex, right here, and then accelerate. As soon as you clip that apex, you will go this far, and then you want to go all the way to 5th gear, coming to Megats and Beckets. 5th gear here, want to clip this curb. I lift a little bit, clip that curb on the right, and then start to brake down to 4th gear, to 3rd gear, clipping that apex. Here you want to be as close as possible to this curb in 3rd gear, and as soon as you pass that green curb, you want to accelerate. This is maybe one of the most important things if you want to get your lap time down. So that exit must be perfect. Then you're accelerating to 5th gear, all the way to 5th gear. Just before 6th, you need to point the car like this, and you brake, downshift to 3rd gear. So you have to be patient here, clipping the curb. And then when you see that cone, you just, or maybe a little bit earlier, you start to accelerate. So you are now full throttle here, right at the curbs. I brake, staying on the right, downshift to 1st, you need to clip this curb, and then upshift to 2nd as soon the car is stable. And this is pretty much full throttle again. Go for this curb, go for it, because you need it. You don't want to go too wide there. This is also one important thing. So you're in a 5th gear here, you just lift round about that green AstroTurf, and then you want to clip the apex. You're fully on throttle here. You want to go on the left hand side, and right after, maybe 2 meters after that curbs, you brake. You clip this curb. It's also very important on the left hand side. The green is very important for you to brake and to get the best possible entry to this corner. This is again fully accelerating through this straight, going full throttle here, and then just before this mark you brake, 4th, 3rd gear, and all the way to 2nd you clip here the curbs, staying in 2nd here, downshift shortly, and then upshift to 2nd. The car like stabilizes, and then fully on the throttle on the exit as soon as possible. You need to get a little bit of feeling of it, but as soon as you get the feeling, you will really get a solid exit. Okay, this is pretty much it, and now let's do one hot lap so you can see how all this connects. Okay, let's do a hot lap. Please concentrate on corner entry, corner exit, braking points, the line, and everything else. And now let's do the setup. And now the most important thing, of course, is the setup. So let's first start off with tires. Tire pressures are dependent on track temperature, so you need to do it yourself. I suggest that the optimum is between 27.5 and 28 flat, maybe after 4 or 5 laps of being on track. Toe is minus 0.18 at the front and minus 0.05 at the back, which I think is the sweet spot. The caster should be around 8 or maybe 8.2 if you want that heavy feel on the front. If it's too much, maybe you can go for 7.8. The camber, you need to go for the maximum tilt, so also on the front and on the end, minus 4 and minus 3.5. The next important thing is the aerodynamics. So you want the ride height at 75 millimeters at the rear and the lowest possible at the front. This will keep you from getting the understeer when exiting the corner. Of course, the rear wing is at 12, so maximum downforce, which you need to go quickly around those fast corners. Brake ducts, the middle ground, 3 value for both, so front and rear, which gives you enough heat in the brakes and enough heat in the tires, so that's like a sweet spot. And now the important thing where the difference occurs is the really stiff suspension, so really stiff front wheel rate and really at the front and at the back, which helps you in those fast corners, and really stiff front anti-roll bar and the rear, which helps you in those slow corners. Brake bias is at 50, which is really aggressive, and it helps the car stop very late. The next thing is electronics. Traction control 1 and traction control 2 are 2 and 3. This you can maybe change if you have it mapped on your wheel, maybe change during a lap, which will maybe give you some extra traction when needed. Engine map if it's a short race and for qualifying at 8, for a long race at 4. And the last thing is the dampers. This is something that you can do in Motec app or do it yourself, or maybe just get a setup from somebody else. The setup is of course 1.8 update compatible, and if you need more time, please pause and copy the settings. And guys, this is pretty much it. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which track you would like to see next. I'm planning to do a few more in a shorter period of time, so you get more guides, which might help you down the line in any of your leagues, endurance races and stuff like that. Guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!